Yeah. Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah. Mm, yeah. Mm, born and died, saved by love, count my blessing from above.
And good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon, depending upon where you are around the world. I'm Marcus Holmes, the love activist, and I'm excited to bring you another episode video cast of Love and Stuff. And so I know that there are those of you that are joining us on YouTube, and I see some comments there from YouTube. Click share and tag someone to join in those comments. You're probably overseas. And so I appreciate that so much, but I hope that you will click share. And as I learn your language, I hope that you will learn ours. And so I'm saying good evening to you wherever you are around the world. I'm excited to have you here and excited to be here. And those of you that are on Love and Stuff, on the Love and Stuff platform, thank you for joining us. Why don't you take a moment to click share and tag 5 of your closest Facebook friends, 5 of your more popular ones to join us in discussion. And if you are with us on the Marcus Our Homes page, on YouTube events, as some of our guests have already told us, or on Twitch TV, why don't you take a moment and click share and tag a few of your followers and those that are subscribers to your page to join us in another evening from the inbox. We will be sharing the topic that is from the inbox. I'm going to post it momentarily. But I wanted to thank you for joining us and asking you whether you are on the Love and Stuff community page, if you're joining us on the Marcus Our Homes page, or if you're joining us on Twitch TV or YouTube event, we're glad you're here. And I'm asking that you will be kind as to click share and tag someone to join us in tonight's discussion. I want to thank all of you. Bruce Hughes has joined us on the Love and Stuff page. Bruce, why don't you click share? Someone there needs to tune in to this topic along with us. I would love to have them, and I'm grateful to have you. And I hope that others that are on the Marcus Our Homes page, of course, I can't see if you're here except on a couple of these pages unless you chime in. And it's such an honor to me to have you chime in, because having your presence here on Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and all of the times around the world, I am privileged that you join us. I want to just pause for a second before we get into the topic to thank those of you who've been following our newest addition to our family of videocasts. Kamal, Sports Talk with Kamal and Felix has been doing a fantastic job. And if you haven't watched that, I hope that you will tune into that. Thank you, Aisha Monique Crawley. Thank you, Timothy Brown Jr., Senior. I'm sorry. Click share and tag someone to join us in this video cast tonight. So I hope that you will click share and tag someone to join us as we get into posting the topic. I'm clicking share, and I'm hoping that you will do the exact same thing. Click share and tag someone to join us in this discussion. We are live, and I'm going to be going into the discussion in just a few moments. All right, very good. And so, yes, fantastic. All right, so I'm clicking share. Why don't you do the same thing and tag a few folks to join us, whichever platform you're on, whether you're with us on the Love and Stuff page, the community page from which we emanate today, whether you are with us on the Marcus Our Homes page here on Facebook, or if you're with us via Restream on YouTube events or on Twitch TV, whether it's morning, noon, or night. We're grateful that you're here, and I hope that you will click share and tag some folks to join us. All right, I'm trying to get okay, very good. Hoping I'm clicking across platforms, clicking across platforms. Having trouble getting that out. Let's see. All right, it's saying something a little different in that title there, but we're not going to be taken aback by that title. We're going to make sure it's right on our platforms. Fantastic. It says the right thing there. All right. Okay, we just got to, it's always something to work out, always something to work out, but we are here to do it. So, okay. All right. Okay. All right. So we are tagging some folks to join us. And trying to get to the page. All right, we're almost there. All right, fantastic. Appreciate those of you that are here and are joining us. And I'm almost a second from click and share so that all of our love groups, those of you that are in any of our love groups, we want to make sure that you are getting this topic correctly. And it looks like it's posted a little different than we want, but we will certainly. All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. All right, all right. All right, all right. We'll click and share, and I hope you are doing the same. I just had to share too. Okay, it's giving us a little challenge there. We're going to keep working on it. All right, while we're doing that, I'm posting the topic. I'm going to read it and then post it. All right, here we go. All right, we are posting the topic so that you can see it. All right. Okay, thank you for joining us. I hope you will click share and tag some folks to join us in another topic that's straight from the inbox. Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to share it. All right, fantastic. Okay, all right. All right, we're going to give it a chance to circulate. There we go. All right. And so if you're joining us, we have to fix the topic title and we're going to post it in every group. We're going to post the topic in every group. And here we go. Thank you for your patience. All right. All right. And we are posting. All right. So I'm posting and pinning on the Love and Stuff page. The topic right now. See if it'll let me pin it. Okay, I'm pinning it there. And then we're going to put it on the Marcus Our Homes page. And we're going to get it over there to YouTube so that you have it as well. Because we want you to be able to join in and get your thoughts on it. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you so much for your patience. All right. Okay, we've pinned the topic. All right. Okay. Fantastic. So from the inbox, we have been planning for retirement for almost 31 years. We've been married for 27 years. So they had some time together before that. And we decided that once we both had 30 years on the job, we would retire. We are 28 years in, both of us. And now she wants to change the plans and work 5 more years. We have travel plans, relocation plans, and a whole new chapter. Yes, I'm glad that she loves what she does, but dang on it. You see the word there. Can a brother live the life that we planned? So I want to talk to you, and I hope that you will join in talking. Um, Fantastic. Eric Powers joined us, Bilal Muhammad, Eric Hutchins. I hope all of you will click share. I know you may have come in and out, but if you will click share and tag someone to join us, that would be awesome. It's the happily ever, is it happily ever retirement? Okay. So I want to hear from you, this couple who has been together for a long time and had plans, which I think is amazing, right? Drop some comments if you wish you were in a relationship with someone who had the foresight to say, let's plan our life. And there are plenty of couples that have done that, right? But not every couple does that or gets the chance to do that in a way that might be most effective, right? And so, uh, what would you say if you all had planned, you decided that um, you were going to retire after a certain time frame, and then you were unable to retire after that certain time frame because it was a change to the plan. I want to hear from you that change to the plans. What would you do if your spouse changed the plans on you? Changed the plans on you and said, you know what? I want us to go right on ahead and I want us to, uh, instead of what we planned, we're going to do it a little different here. Instead of what we planned, we're going to go right on ahead and keep on working, or I'm going to keep on working. Would that matter to you? Would you care? I want to hear from you as I am, as you can see, sharing this with others, sharing to groups, um, to get some other folks engaged and involved. What would you say? What would you do? All right, getting some folks engaged and involved. What would you say? What would you do? All right. All right. I tagged some folks. I hope that you will tag some folks. Click share right now. Tag some folks to join us in this discussion. What would you do? Romantic romance with love. I'm sharing with you. Come on. What would you do? Let's talk about love. I'm sharing with you. What would you do? Relationships right now. I'm sharing with you, and I'm interested to know what would you do. All right, and if you're just joining us, click share. We're talking from the inbox about a couple who's been together 31 years, married for 27, and have been on their jobs for 28. Their plan is to retire at 30, but the wife is saying, you know what, I think I want to work instead of 2 more years, I want to work for 5 more years. And the husband says, hey, we got to live out our plan. No detour. Should he be okay with the detour because they've made it 28 years and they had a plan? Drop in the comments. Does anybody have a plan? Any married couples that have a plan? And you're like, goals to be able to retire together. Is it a good idea to retire together, or does that just depend on what the couple decides to do? I want to hear from you. What do you say? I love to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. All right. I'm just sharing with some folks. All right. Almost there, done sharing. And I hope you're clicking share just as I am, to invite folks to join us. What would you say if your spouse wanted to change the nature of the deal and said, you know what, instead of us retiring together, I want to keep working, or maybe we both should keep working, and not necessarily in this case for financial reasons. They're still on track with what they had planned to do, which they have some pretty elaborate plans. Michelle Rice McGee has joined us. Thank you so much. I hope you will click share and tag someone to join us. We are talking live from the inbox, as we often do. The topic is posted there, pinned there. A couple that has been together for 31 years, married 27 years, both employed gainfully for 28 years, not at the same company, but they decided pretty early on when they got together that they would retire after they got to 30 years. And so now they both are at 28 years on their jobs. And the wife now wants to work an additional 5 years. And it's not particularly a financial reason. It's because she's really in a place in her career that she's really enjoying the work. But because they have travel plans, the husband says, and relocation plans and a whole new chapter plans, this throws that off. And he doesn't want to throw off their plans. Is he being selfish? Should they have some discussion around this? What would you do? Or better still, what advice would you give to this couple where the husband is saying, I don't know that I want to keep working, or I don't want you to keep working? I'm very interested to hear what you say. Drop in the comments. And would you feel some kind of way if you're still working and your husband has decided to retire, and that was the plan. Would you feel some kind of way if your plan was changed? One of you decided, I'm not going to keep working, and the other is still working. Does that matter? If you plan again a relocation, if you're planning again to do extensive traveling, does that impact your future? Yes, it does. And how do you feel about how it impacts your future? I want to hear from you. And thank you again, those of you that are watching on YouTube events and on Twitch TV. Chime in. You have to drop it in the comments, or I will not know that you are here. And those of you that are watching, of course, emanating from the Love and Stuff page, and those of you that are watching from the Marcus R. Holmes page, why don't you take a moment to click share that 5 of your closest Facebook friends, 5 of your more popular YouTube subscribers or Twitch TV connections to join us in this topic of a couple that's been together for 31 years, married for 27. Both of them have been gainfully employed for 28 years at different companies, and their plan very early on was for them to retire at the same time at 30 years. But the wife is in a place in her career where she does not want to stop working. She wants to work 5 years, so an additional 3 years. And the husband is saying, we have planned this, we have plans for our investments and retirement, relocation plans, travel plans. How would that impact how you feel? How would that conversation go? I want to hear from you. All right. And so while I'm waiting to hear from you across platforms, I want to invite you this Saturday. We are kicking off Inside of Love and Stuff. Of course, some of you have already joined Inside of Love and Stuff. What is that? It's the newest group that's inside of the Love and Stuff community. And this Saturday, we kicked off our meet and greet Saturday afternoon. So the event is there on the page. You can join Inside of Love and Stuff, and then you can join the group. So you can join Inside of Love and Stuff by going to the page. If you're not already on the Love and Stuff page, going under group, and then joining Inside of Love and Stuff. This is an opportunity for you to get to meet some of the people in the Love and Stuff community, and an opportunity for you to join us on a year-long journey for self-care. And so that starts this Saturday, and you don't want to miss it. We're going to be holding that in a messenger room so that everybody can see each other's faces and begin to interact with maybe people you haven't met before. And so we've got people joining Inside of Love and Stuff, and I want you to be one of them and get to know the love activists and all of the folks, the wonderful folks that are within our community. We want you to join us there. All right, I want to get back to the topic. They've been married for 27 years, together 31 years, and they've been working toward a retirement with a plan. And I say bravo to them. I know that there are couples that do have a plan. There are couples that don't have a plan. There are couples that have separate plans. But this couple early on said, you know what? We want to make a life for ourselves that will be comfortable, that will have our house paid off, that we will, we won't, will have access to the money that we've saved and invested. Our real estate portfolio, will be able to access that and make whatever decisions we want to make, so that we can relocate. So relocation is on their list, so that they can travel. More travel than they've done before is on their list. But the wife is saying, gee, I really enjoy the work that I'm doing, and I'm not ready to retire in 2 years. I think I need 3 more years before I retire. What do you say? Is the husband right for feeling like he's been duped? Or is this just a conversation? This is just communication? Or is this something that is a signal of something else that might be going on in the relationship? I want to hear from you. How would you respond if your spouse changed the plan and said, nope, I'm not ready to retire? And I'm very interested to know, would you still stick to your part of the plan and retire? Or would you try to continue to work as long as she was working, or ladies, as long as he was working? I'd love to hear from you to see what your thoughts are on that very, very topic. All right, I'm going to tag a few folks to get. Oh, thank you so much on YouTube events. And Yes, but you have to drop them in the comments. Make a comment. So it'll be hard to manage inboxes. So the best thing to do if you're on YouTube, and I know that we have some of our overseas folks on YouTube, so I hope that English is a second language of not your first. But I hope that you will drop your name in the comments, like we had the comments earlier on YouTube. And I don't know if I can pronounce your name, but I'm so grateful that you're here. All of you that are across platforms, thank you so much for joining us wherever you are joining from. All right, I appreciate you. I really, really do. Yes, we do. We really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right. All right. So tagged a few folks to join us. What do you say? What do you say? What would you do in a situation where your spouse wants to change or is changing the plan? Because she's telling him, I'm planning to work for 3 more years. What would you do? Anybody would continue to work? Give me a like or love. Give me a smiley face and emoji. If you would continue to work on just you would stick to your plan. You're not going to deviate from your plan. So your spouse is going to work an additional 3 years, but you're going to call it quits in 2. And even though you know the kind of extensive traveling that you might want to do, you won't be able to do until she retires or he retires. The relocation, even though in this environment, people might be able to do more remote working, but the plan probably won't be for you to be able to just travel, and relocate at the end of 2 years, that you might have to wait until the end of 5. What would you do? What would you do? Very interested to hear what would you do? Give me likes or loves in the comments of what you would do. All right. And those of you that are joining us on Twitch TV, drop in the comments. Thank you so much. Would you drop in the comments where you're from, what time of the day it is, wherever you may be around the world. And while you're doing that, just like them on Twitch TV and on YouTube event, click share and tag a subscriber or two, tag a connection or a follower or a friend to join in the discussion. All right. So I think it's very important, as we're often talking about communication, very important for you to communicate to and with your spouse about changes to your plan, changes to your life plan. Because you can envision a happily ever after, a happily ever retirement, and career goals could change. Now, in this case, that's the case. It isn't necessarily a financial challenge or change in their financial status. It's that the wife has found a place, a sweet spot of sorts in her work, in her career, that she wants to see out. She wants to, let it run its course to see what it will go. And I think that a husband might, even if he decides not to work any longer, might be happy that his wife has found the sweet spot, um, where sometimes women don't get the opportunity to find that sweet spot as much. They were fortunate in raising their kids, and their kids being grown and on their own, that they have this freedom of time and in relatively good health. Of course, you never know from day to day, but in relatively good health, to be able to have plans to prepare to retire. And so, if your spouse still has some goals and those goals aren't yet achieved, you might consider augmenting the plan. Now, it would be helpful, right, to augment the plan together over some course of time so that nobody is surprised by the augmentation, right? Because sometimes when we have our hearts so fixated on a certain plan, that we're disappointed when that plan doesn't come to fruition or when plans, as they often do, go awry. You can make the best plans, lay out the best plans for your life, and many things could impact them and make one of you go in a different direction, make a different choice. So I think it's important to involve in discussion over time what those changes to plans are, whether it's the husband or the wife. But I think if your spouse is pursuing their career and found a sweet spot in that career, I think it's important that you provide them support. And so I would advise this husband to sit down and discuss his wife. What does this extra 3 years look like for us? Am I going to continue to work? Am I going to um, retire early and do some traveling on my own? You never know. I would think it might be a great opportunity. Of course, a lot of couples do all of their traveling together, but it might be a great opportunity for him to look at some volunteer opportunities, for him to get involved if he is involved in ministry, to get involved in that, if he isn't already involved, to get more involved, to get involved in the neighborhood, in the community. There's so many opportunities to give back. And of course, I'm thinking of uh, that as we're quickly coming to the down the runway to an important holiday, the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, um, we all ought to be paying our rent and service, right? And so one way to do that is to give back, right? To give in some form of service, whether it is volunteering at a school, mentoring young people, helping seniors and others. There are many ways to give back, even in this COVID environment, that we could give back. And maybe he could craft a plan to do some of that part time while he does some exploration of travel and different things. Maybe he could travel to the area where they want to relocate and kind of start to plan out, some of their purchase plans and take the lead on some of that that hasn't, fully come to fruition, or maybe, there are opportunities because of what has transpired in the world. And so I'm hopeful that they can have a discussion about those plans. We're talking from the inbox today about a couple who has been together for 31 years. They've been married for 27 of those years, and they've been planning on their retirement. And now that they're 28 years in, just 2 years away from the time that they said they will retire, which would be at 30 years for them, the wife has decided that she wants to work 5 more years or 3 extra years, right? Because she is in a career, a place in her career where she wants to keep working and just see it play out, see the things that she can accomplish and achieve. But the husband is saying, wait, we had a deal. Our deal was to work 30 and out, to relocate, to travel extensively, to consolidate some of our real estate holdings and things of that nature. And so now you're changing the plan, which for him feels at a moment's notice, even though 2 years is a little way, right? And so I want to hear from you. Is that something that you would object to? What would you say? Thank you, Willie Rogers, for joining us. I hope you will click share and tag someone to join us in the discussion. And whether you're watching us from the Love and Stuff community page, the Marcus R. Holmes page, or Twitch TV or YouTube event, HR Passion Guy, I hope that you will click share, tag 5 of your closest Facebook connections, friends, followers, 5 of your more popular subscribers on YouTube to join us in the discussion. What would you do if your spouse changed your retirement plan? Now, some people that I talked to said, I would still retire. That's her choice to keep working, and I would find something else to do for the 3 years. And I think that's an admirable um, position to take. I talked to a few other people who said, No, you don't change plans like that. These are 28-year-old plans. Wonderful. I've got some of our overseas folks joining on the Love and Stuff community page. Good evening to you, or good morning. I think it's probably good morning to you, or good afternoon. I'm not exactly sure where you are, but I'm grateful that you've joined us, and I hope you will click share and engage some of the folks on your side of the pond, as it were. But we're one big world of love. And so I hope that you will engage some of them to join us in the discussion. What would you say? All right, got you. All right, fantastic. All right, okay, cool. And so I'm wondering, as some of the folks that I've broached the topic with said, no, I don't want to change my retirement plan. If there's no financial reason to change it, if my spouse wants to change her plans or his plans, depending on the situation, I am going to stick to my plan. I'm going to retire. At 30 years, I want my gold watch or whatever you get at 30 years if you get anything in your organization. And I'm going to take my 401k and whatever I plan to do, I'm going to do my things that I want to do, or I'm going to just enjoy being retired. And then when she retires, or ladies, when he retires, then we can start that life that we plan. Give me a like or love if that's you. You say, hey, no big deal. She can decide to retire if she wants to. I, I'm good with it. No big deal. Or is it a big deal if you've had plans? And the plans include relocation, but there hasn't been a purchase of the relocated homestead. I'll say that. They have a place, an area that they're scoping out, but it is not, um, they have not implemented they financially implemented the plan, but they haven't physically implemented the plan. I'll say that. And so, having heard that, what do you say? I'm very interested to know what you say. And right after this short break, I want to come back and I'm going to click share and tag some other folks to join us because I want to know, what do you think? Yes, you. That was about you. We want you to join Inside of Love and Stuff. We're on an amazing journey to explore what I call the neglected love. It's the love of self. Most people spend some time in consideration of the love of God, a higher power, a creator. And some people come to a conclusion that they're not going to pursue that love. That love is the quintessential love from which all other love pours out. And so that love is an important love, but many people get on the journey of that love, and some people believe that they're getting off the journey, though I don't think that you truly get off the journey of the love of God. Some people are on that journey to understand the love of God and then reciprocate to God that love. Most people in a love journey are in a journey to love someone else. They're in a journey to love their spouse. They're in the journey to love their children. They're in the journey to love their parents. They're in the journey to find the love of a boo or bae or somebody. They're in a journey to find love. That's where most people are. Most people want to be in love, are in love, fell out of love, trying to get back in love. And that journey is all about connecting to that love. If you've ever been in love, trying to be in love, trying to be in love again, trying to get out of the love that ain't good, give me a like or love, because you understand that most people, when they think of love, it's their relationship to somebody else. It's their relationship getting engaged, and maybe not just engaged, but getting in the flow of interacting with, engaging with someone in love, right? A lot of people. And what we call in the Love and Stuff community, the most neglected love is the love of self, self-love. I submit to you that we spend the least amount of time investing in loving ourselves, being good to ourselves, shaping our esteem about ourselves, affirming who we are, and getting about the business of living passionately in the center of our authenticity and loving us, right? That's the neglected love. We will caregive for our parents and our children and go without getting a massage and our nails done, right? We will feed families and children and eat the leftovers, whatever is left, right? And we consider that selfless. But a part of the love has to be selfish, self for self. I don't say call it self-serving, because once you are filled up and built up in love, you pour out love to others, right? And so I believe that self-love is important, because if you don't have a reservoir from which to pour, you're an empty pourer, right? Or a pour, P-O-O-R, pourer, P-O-U-R-E-R, right? So this journey that we're all on in the Love and Stuff community is about tuning into that self-love, into that self-care, caring for self, mind, body, and soul. And we're going to be doing this for the next 12 months inside of Love and Stuff exclusively. And we realize not everybody is ready to say that I've been neglecting myself. But I challenge you to measure the amount of love that you've been giving to yourself. Because most times we'll measure it to that the other person will say, you ain't kissed me lately. You ain't told me you love me. You didn't buy me a good Christmas gift. Valentine's Day is coming. What are we doing? We measure how people demonstrate their love to us all the time. And I'm asking you to measure and ask yourself, are you demonstrating how you love you all the time? That's what the self-care journey is about. Each month there's a different focus. And this month of January, we're starting with sleep, believe it or not. The way and time and space and the kind of sleep that you have impacts your life greatly, impacts your mind, your ability to refuel and recharge. And so we're going to be talking about how you can maximize the amount of sleep. And I know that you're not sleeping like you should, because you're conquering the world, right? You're working 16 hours. You're doing your side hustle and your side gig. You're raising children, rearing children. You're rearing your husband or wife. You're working the job. You're managing up. You're managing down. You're managing sideways. You're leading. You're following. You're running. You're doing all of these things. But you need to replenish, and you need rest and sleep. And when you sleep, you need restful sleep that recharges you. You need to look at yourself in a self-care journey and challenge yourself and saying, am I getting what I need in this journey? That was my commercial on top of the commercial, because I want you to join inside of Love and Stuff and join us this Saturday. Go to the Love and Stuff community page, click on the event, go to the Love and Stuff community page, click on groups, join inside of Love and Stuff, and answer 3 community questions, because we want to make sure that you'll follow the community guidelines, and then join the event that's happening on Saturday. We'll be live in the messenger room. You'll get to see everybody's faces and interact with people in the Love and Stuff community as we prepare to go on this year-long journey for the love of self. All right. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. Another wonderful name that I can't pronounce, but I am so grateful that you all are tuning in overseas. I love it. Thank you, Jose Ortez. Wow. Thank you, IB Music. Long time. Happy New Year, sir. Thank you for joining us. I'm so glad you're here. We're talking today from the inbox. I was just doing a commercial for our Inside of Love and Stuff. We'd love for you to join us, IB Music Bell. We'd love for you to go to the Inside of Love and Stuff under groups on the Love and Stuff community page. So before you leave Facebook tonight, make sure you go over there and join us. Saturday, we're going to be on a journey of self-care. Self is the neglected love. Most people are on a journey of loving. Yep, I know who it was. I know I saw you change your name, but I knew it was you, Ike. Most of us are on a journey of, some of us are on the journey of loving God, and some of us get off of that journey because we, not I, but we, sometimes we're not happy with what God has decided to do or what he's allowed. So we call ourselves getting off the journey. I don't really believe that God lets us off the hook, because no one can really pluck us away from him, out from his love. Even when we decide to leave him, his world is built on love. So every pathway, every hedge, every highway, every portal has an exit to re-engage with God's love, right? So I don't believe we ever get away from God's love. That's just my thought. But everybody at some point says, is God real? Is he not? Is he love? Is he, did Jesus? Everybody wraps their mind about some thought of God and either pursues it part-time, full-time, no time, right? But it crosses everybody's path. Most people, when they think about love, yep, my gospel rapper singer, most people, when they think about love, think about loving or being loved by someone else. We want to be loved by a boo, a bae, and some people want a boo, a bae, and a side chick, right? Some people want to be loved by their children, their bonus children, stepchildren, half children. Some people want to be loved by their parents, grandparents, TT them, right? Some people want to be loved by their friends, be well thought of and loved by others in their family, any other relatives, right? And want to reciprocate that love in some way, right? Most people, I submit to you, do not give as much care and consideration for the love of self. Now, we could go to on these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets, right? Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, mind, soul, body, and strength. And the second one is like unto it. Love your neighbor as yourself. The standard of excellence for love for the others that you are in relationship with is the standard that you set for loving yourself. Think about that for 1 second. If you don't love yourself, you can use that standard to love others. And hence why the world is in such a love quotient challenge, right? Because how are you loving someone else? How am I loving someone else if I'm not working on loving myself? And we could roll that back, right? How am I working on loving myself if I haven't worked out this love quotient with the creator who is love, God, right? But we're going to start with this part about loving self. Because I believe and I submit to you, it's the neglected love. If you think your spouse is neglecting you, you think your children don't care like they should, I got news for you. Hot off the presses. Do you care for you like you should? Because as you build that self-love, as I build that self-love, I exponentially impact the trajectory of the love that I seek to give anybody else. And that, my friends, is powerful. And that is why I believe it's important in 2022 to pursue the best you and to do it in part down a journey of self-care. I think we all could take better care of ourselves. And if you happen to be in the African American diaspora, there are so many different things, components, factors that face us that we should really do a good job, the best that we can, of taking care of ourselves. Very important to do that. Marcus Holmes talking about having to compromise. They're going to have to give something up to make this work. Okay. Yes, I'm coming back to that topic. Thank you so much. I'm stuck on my commercial. Aria, the amazing actress who's in our Love and Stuff community. I hope she will be with us Saturday inside the Love and Stuff. If you want to meet Aria, and I don't know how we would work out getting an autograph, but you might get a chance to meet a real life actress, one who is currently in a number of movies, films, and is directing films. She's in our Love and Stuff community. So you want to make sure you go to Inside of Love and Stuff. This is my point. Because we're going to go on this journey, you see, starting with sleep this month. And each month there's a different focus that we will encourage you to continue to bring, and giving you content that will help you to move toward mastery for your life in that area. So the sleep that I need for my life is going to be different than the sleep that you need for your life. But the goal is to have restful, peaceful, deep sleep that rejuvenates you, right? And so you want to go to Inside of Love and Stuff to ensure that inside of Love and Stuff, you get exactly what you need. And I'm so glad. We're going to go back to the topic. I want to just one more time show you that Inside of Love and Stuff. That finger is pointing to you. We want you inside of Love and Stuff. Go to the Love and Stuff community page under groups, click Inside of Love and Stuff, answer 3 questions, and you'll be in a wonderful group and have an opportunity to meet people in this wonderful community. Back to our topic. This couple has been together for 31 years, and they have been married for 27 of those years. And they started early on planning for their life after work. The plan has gone well for them. They've reared their children. Their children are grown and out of the house. They've been working gainfully for 28 years, planning and investing and making their money maximize. And now they're at year 28, and the wife says, instead of retiring in 2 years, I want to retire in 5. So she wants to work an additional 3 years. But the husband's taken aback. He says, whoa, wait, that's not our plan. Our plan is to retire in 2 years and to relocate and to travel and to consolidate some of our investments and to enjoy our lives in a new chapter. And she says, yeah, we can do all of that in 5 years. What do you say that husband should do? Or ladies, if you were in that position, what would you say to your husband to do if he wanted to retire early? There's a change in the plans. And because we're creatures of habit, sometimes it's hard for us to embrace what we consider sudden change, right? And sometimes that change isn't as sudden as we think, right? And so one of the things that I want to highlight is in the inbox, I asked this husband about whether or not, looking back, did he see any signs of change? And after some time, he thought about it. He says, yeah, I did kind of see a period of where she got a promotion and it was the best thing that she had felt like had happened to her in a very long time. I said, and when those kinds of things happen, I'm sure you're congratulating her and telling her how proud you are of her. Did you, in that time, say, when life changes happen, did you say, how do you feel like this might impact our plan? He said, that didn't cross my mind. You see, she'd been with the same company for all these years and she'd gotten promoted before, but this time it was different. And so what I say to him and I say to you, when you're in relationship with someone, it behooves you. It makes good sense. It's prudent for you to pay attention to the changes. One is large as a promotion. One is small as a different level of peace or contentment or discontentment. And it's worth the discussion when you see it. When your spouse is excited about something that happens on the job and you all have a plan, or your spouse, your children have children, you have grandchildren, and your spouse is enamored with those grandbabies, that might be a signal to you to say, do you think this changes our plans that you might not want to relocate and still be close to our grandchildren? It's important when you're in relationship with someone that you pay attention to the signals that they are typically sending you. You know, last week we talked about the 35 questions that lead you into friendship, not the 36 questions that lead to love. 35 questions that lead you into friendship. And if you drop your name in the comments, we'll put the link there for you to get a copy of those questions. And oftentimes, just meeting people, some of the tips that you get in there are signals that people are giving to you from the first time they meet you, that if you don't pay attention to them, you are missing major parts of the fabric of their stories, because people are always telling you about them. We're always peeling back onions, even when we don't know that we're doing that, right? We're always revealing parts of ourselves, even though we might not intentionally do it. And sometimes, another show, subconsciously, we are intentionally wanting you to know more about us. So think if when you first meet somebody that they're sending you signals. Definitely, if you've been in a relationship with someone 31 years, they are sending you signals about change. Sometimes they're subtle and sometimes they're pronounced. And a job change, a promotion, a health scare, a grandchild. These are all signals, and our response to them sometimes is enough to tell our spouse we want to change. And it's important for us to communicate that. I don't discount that, but it's important for the spouse to pick up on those signals and say, does this mean something different than what we've planned? I'm the proponent of this husband taking all things into account. I'm the proponent of this husband saying, you know, I'm going to retire in 2 years, because that's what his heart has been set on. And for him not to stop his wife from retiring, from working, if she wants to continue to work, and to spend some time with those grandkids, spend some time in community service, spend some time giving to the church, spend some time mentoring, whatever those other things that he would want to do, he can utilize that time to do them. Oftentimes, as I said earlier, a woman may make the prime of her career later than a man. It's the reality of the world in which we live, where we don't quite have the equity and parity that we say we seek. So a woman that's getting that latent promotion, it might have been the promotion of her dreams. And while it's true that they should be having conversation about it, if she springs the promotion, or she says, you know what, I'm in the best time of my career. I know we plan to retire at 30 years, but I want to work 3 beyond that. So I want to work for 5 more years. I think it is a conversation of compromise, Aria. But I think that shoulda, woulda, coulda. I think that we can be savvy when our partners are telling us, are giving us signals about change. And we can then begin to adjust so that it doesn't get us by surprise. That's all of the social awareness is about, learning the triggers, the emotions and cues of other people so that you're not taken by surprise and thereby able to manage a better relationship. And I believe we're always sending signals to each other. We're always saying, I'm changing, I'm growing, I'm losing tolerance, I'm gaining tolerance, I'm impatient, I'm growing in grace, I'm forgiving. All of those things are first felt in a signal, first felt in our limbic systems, first felt in our cells before we can think about them. And the better we are of getting in front of those feelings as we're feeling them, the better we are in conversations with our partners to say, I sense something changing. So, whether you've been together 31 years like this couple, planning for retirement for 28 years, which I think is laudable. I think it's laudable that couples still plan. Not to say that there aren't couples that don't plan or do, that there aren't a number of couples that plan, rather. It's refreshing to know that there are couples that have planned out their futures, right? But sometimes plans, even the best laid out and intended plans, as the saying goes, those can change. And when they do, what's constant is the love. What's constant is the respect. And what should be constant is the communication. I will imagine that any husband or wife who has a spouse that they've been with a long time, who gets to accomplish a dream later in their life, is happy and excited enough about that dream to want them to enjoy as much of it, and would be willing in the compromise of relationships to say, it's your time to shine. And I'm going to lay back, kick back and watch TV and football, or whatever it is that I want to be able to do. I'm so thankful. We're at 9:29, and I'm thankful for all of you that have joined, especially those of you who are chiming in for YouTube. I promise, as I go back and have a YouTube after show, I'm going to learn where you're from, and I hope to learn at least a few phrases in your language. I know that some of you have commented and inboxed and said that you speak some English. Well, I must admit, I took French in 9th grade, and I don't think I've spoken very much of it. I took Spanish in 11th grade, and I think I've spoken less of that. But I'm interested in learning some things in your language. But the main thing that I think we can both say in a universal language is love. And so with that, I will close to say, when you are seeking out love in relationships, and when you are seeking out love in the relationship that you have with the Creator, and as we stated earlier, people are in different places in that relationship. There are people who say, I'm divorcing love. I'm divorcing God because he took my mother. I'm divorcing God because I got fired from that job. He allowed them to take my house. I don't believe that that divorce lasts. I believe that because God built the world with the fulcrum of love, that the foundation of it is love, that every highway and hedge, every sky lit mountain, and every deep dark valley has a pathway and portal that has an exit back to love. That God has designed for you not to get away from his love. That wherever you are, love is. And he wants you to be reminded that your divorce decree is not final. You have the opportunity to come back to him for love. But we don't spend as much time with that love as we probably should. I know I could spend a lot more time with that love, loving with all my mind, heart, body, and soul and strength. We spend the time loving other people, or at least trying to the best we can. I want to challenge you tonight to consider this, that the neglected love the self love by which you are to mete out, to measure out, to divvy out, to ration out, to pour out the love that you have for others is the love that we haven't invested enough in. And when we are investing in that love, it helps us to give others freedom and permission to live out their best selves, even if it is for an extended career, a highlight in their life, or a very pivotal change that's bringing them to some life altering decisions. When you invest in the love of self, it helps to center you to be able to recognize that people ought to be about the business of loving themselves as well. And then when we hook up from that well invested love, oh, what a love it will be. A love for your spouse, for your boo, your bae, a love for your children, a love for your kindred and acquaintances, if you will, a love for those that you intend to love and those who need your love the most. When you invest in the self love and pursue the best you, out of that wellspring of love, you will make a difference in this world and join us in increasing the amount of love in the world. I'm Marcus Holmes, the Love Activist. And whether you're watching us from the Love and Stuff community page, where we hope that you will join the Inside of Love and Stuff group to join us on Saturday. If you're on the Marcus R. Holmes page on Facebook or the HR Passion Guide pages on YouTube events or on Twitch TV, we're excited that you've joined us again. And I hope you will do one thing as a call to action, that you will click share and tag someone who you know needs to think about the neglected self-love. Invite him or her to join the Love and Stuff community and to join inside of Love and Stuff. Simply by clicking share and tagging them, I think this content will get them thinking about their own love. If a couple can change their plans, compromise on their future, can you change your plan for love? Even if you don't have one written down, you do realize that you have a plan for love. Get about knowing what it is, write it down, live it out, and improve it every day. I'm Marcus Holmes. I'm so grateful that you're here. And thank you for joining us. Click share and tag someone right now to join us Saturday inside of Love and Stuff. See you soon.